Hey, what's going on guys? Luis here, and 2014 was a great year for smartphones. There were a lot of awesome flagships from companies like LG, Samsung, Apple, and a lot more. But there were a few surprises like the OnePlus One, which was a great phone for the price from a lesser known manufacturer. And so I think that 2015 will be the year where lesser known companies are going to start to come up with better smartphones that cost a lot less. And so what that means for us consumers is that we're going to get the absolute best deals on smartphones this upcoming year. So if you're the kind of person who has been waiting to upgrade from that old iPhone 4 or that Galaxy S3, then stay tuned because in this video we're going to be taking a look at my top best smartphones to look out for in 2015. So kicking off our list is the LG G4. The LG G3 was undoubtedly one of the best phones of 2014. It had top of the line specs, a fantastic camera, a great design, and so we're expecting LG to come up with something great for the G4. Some rumors are indicating that the G4 will have a 5.5-inch screen again, but with a 4K resolution display, which is something that I've been looking forward to ever since Quad HD displays came up in the market. And LG is known for making absolutely beautiful IPS displays, and so I'm sure that the G4 will pack something absolutely stunning. And we're starting to see more phones use the metal build quality like the HTC One or the iPhone 6, and so I'm personally expecting the G4 to pack at least a metal chassis on the side like the Galaxy Note 4. I've been an LG user for the past year, and one of the things I love about my G2, which is kind of an older phone, is that it almost has no bezel. And some people might think that it's not that important to have a small bezel on your phone, but let me tell you that once you get used to it, it's great for watching content and especially YouTube videos. The HTC One M9 is another phone you should really be looking forward to in 2015. The One M9 is almost definitely going to bring back that awesome build quality that we loved on the M8 and hopefully improve upon it by getting rid of some of the things that we didn't love, like the plastic antennas on the back, which while they're necessary, they can be put somewhere else or covered up somehow because they are just ugly. The latest version of HTC Sense would look great on a 4K screen, and I'm definitely expecting big things from HTC here. And I'm not a huge fan of the camera on the HTC One M8. In fact, I think it's one of the weakest points of the phone, and so I'm expecting HTC to revamp the camera on the M9, hopefully offer more megapixels and a better sensor. It's just not a great camera on the M8, and it needs to be revamped, it needs to be reinvented, and the M9 just needs to have a good camera. And finally, the latest version of HTC Sense should be dropping by with the M9 for the latest operating system. Hopefully it'll be Android 5.0 Lollipop or Android 5.1, who knows, but HTC Sense is easily one of my favorite skins, and I'm hoping for it to be revamped and also improved. Next up is the Galaxy Note 5. So the Galaxy lineup is one of Samsung's most successful ever smartphone lineups, and I think it's because people are really getting into big phones, especially in 2015. The latest flagship, the Galaxy Note 4, was arguably the best phone of 2014. It had a beautiful 2K display, a fantastic build quality with metal, and just great features overall. And so I'm expecting Samsung to step up their game and bring a lot of quality to the Galaxy Note 5. So Samsung makes some pretty saturated displays. They make AMOLED displays, and I'm expecting the Note 5 to have a 5K display or an improved Quad HD display. I will probably make a separate video on 4K displays on smartphones later on. We're not exactly sure if they're coming yet, but if they are coming in the next year, I am expecting the Note 5 to at least have a 4K display. Some rumors indicate that the Note 5 will have a 5.9-inch screen, which might be a little bit too large for some people, but for myself, I think it's great. The larger, the better. Of course, you don't want to get to 6.5 inches and have a semi-tablet as a phone, but I think anything below 6 inches and in between 5.5 and 6 is a great size for a smartphone. Some rumors also indicate that the Note 5 might be coming with a 64-bit chip, which will definitely increase the performance of the phone and make it overall faster. Some people might think this is not too important, but having a 64-bit chip makes a huge difference. And so with that CPU, I'm expecting the Note 5 to have even better multitasking as well. And we're expecting the latest version of TouchWiz to come with the Note 5, hopefully running Android 5.0 Lollipop And even though we don't necessarily love TouchWiz, hopefully it'll improve upon it and be a better overall operating system. The next smartphone you should really be looking forward to in 2015 is a new Moto X 2015 edition. So the Moto X was one of my favorite phones when it came out, and the 2014 edition improved upon that original design, and it was one of my favorite phones, period. This is another great example of a lesser known company rising to the top by making great phones like the Moto X, so I'm expecting big things from Motorola in 2015. The Moto X showed everyone, including both geeks and consumers, that specs are not the most important thing, but the experience while using a smartphone. Of course, the Moto X didn't have the greatest specs, it didn't have the best camera or the best processor, but the experience was absolutely fantastic. It ran nearly stock Android, and using it was buttery smooth, and even though the camera, like I said, wasn't great, other things made up for it, like new features like the ability to wake up your phone without having to touch it and things like that. Now, since Motorola made the Nexus 6 in 2014, which was a gigantic phone like I said before, almost 6 inches, I'm expecting the new Moto X to have an even bigger screen, almost at 5.5 or 5.6 inches. And to finish off our list, let's talk about the highly anticipated iPhone 6s and 6s Plus. So the iPhone 6 was already a pretty huge upgrade over the iPhone 5s. It had a larger screen and a better build quality, but it wasn't perfect by any means. It bends for some people, it's really slippery, and it has a protruding camera, so you can't really place it flat on a desk. And I wouldn't necessarily expect Apple to completely overhaul the iPhone 6 by any means, but I do expect them to at least fix some of these issues which are a problem for most people. That being said, do expect the build quality to be slightly unchanged, if not just a little bit better. The iPhone 6 is one of the few smartphones out there that still has a 64-bit processor, and we're expecting the iPhone 6s to have an even better chip with that same 64-bit architecture. Apple may or may not upgrade the processor to an 88X, but it'll definitely be upgrading the RAM. The iPhone 6 only has 1 gig of RAM, which is absolutely unacceptable for any smartphone in 2015, so I would definitely expect to see at least 2 gigabytes of RAM on the iPhone 6s. And one of the things that I love about the iPhone 6 and the 6 Plus is the camera. Both cameras take absolutely stunning photos and videos, but they don't have 4K, and that's one of the things that I really want to see on the next version of the iPhone, is for them to be able to shoot 4K video and have a slightly higher megapixel count. Now, of course, these aren't the only smartphones you should be looking forward to in 2015. These are just my personal favorites, but I do want to give a few honorable mentions to the Galaxy S6, the OnePlus 2, and the Sony Xperia Z4. Now, of course, there are a ton more that you should probably be looking forward to, but those are just my overall favorites. Hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, share it with your friends and family who are looking for a new phone in 2015. And I'll probably make a separate video about each phone later in the year, so definitely subscribe if you guys don't want to miss those. But either way, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.